Wednesday and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lall Show, only on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I trust that you had a beautiful weekend too, all of you. President Zelensky of Ukraine, where the war is going on presently between Russia and them, told some university graduates last week the most valuable asset in the world today is time. Not gold, diamonds, or oil. Time. You hear that, Greg?
Yep.
Time. You guys continue to sleep your time away. And you will see what will become of your future. Yes, with your resources. Let me say namaste again. Continue to sleep your time away, and you will see what will become of your resources. I had an interview Saturday with Africa's legend, Professor PLO Lumumba of Kenya. I don't know how many of you would have listened to it. And tonight, I will play two parts of our conversation. Let's start with the first part, the first one. Could you play that for me? You are an attorney at law. Our country has signed a deal with ExxonMobil, one of the worst ever in the history of mankind. 2%, a 50% profit share after 75% comes out up front as cost oil before profit is being shared. Basically, we get nothing. Nothing. A new government, when in opposition, this present government, when in opposition, promised that when they get, or if they get into power, they will renegotiate this contract. Today, nada, nothing. They're holding on to this old biblical term, sanctity of contract, sir. As a lawyer, tell us, what's your opinion on sanctity of contract? Does that mean that circumstances, if it change, it stops you from touching that contract?
You know, we must not use black letter law to legitimize the legitimate. We must not have laws which are purged of moral content. You know, the law can't be an ass. And we have seen illegitimate things made legitimate. Apartheid was made legitimate and legal. Nazi Germany was legal. And my own view is that if a contract is parasitic, it is incumbent upon the people of Guyana, by invoking the jurisdiction of their courts, and if they can't, they can invoke the jurisdiction of other international tribunals to ensure that that unfavorable contract is nullified. It is improper to have a contract which legitimizes theft. And I have some idea of the contract that the government of Guyana has entered into with ExxonMobil. It is theft, and it must be described as theft. It is incumbent upon ExxonMobil. The America, which is the home of ExxonMobil, would not allow such a contract to be signed in the United States of America.
Exactly.
And what must therefore happen is that the government and your parliament must come out clearly, and the people, civic organizations in Guyana must come out clearly and send a clear message to ExxonMobil. If it cannot be done in Guyana, you must also get attorneys in the United States of America to file suits in the United States, so that you enter into an arrangement that makes sense, which enjoins ExxonMobil to ensure, number one, that there is local content is taken care of, to ensure that the dividends are shared in an equitable manner, because in the early days, you may need their technology, and it also must ensure that that technology transfer will begin to happen within a period which is described. But if you allow yourself to go into these unfavorable contracts, you will suffer the fate of a country like Nigeria, which suffered under Shell BP for a very long time. You'll suffer the fate of Gabon and Congo, which suffered under ELF. You'll suffer the fate of Angola, which also suffered under ExxonMobil. And there are many stories. And remember, these companies, particularly in the oil sector, because they monopolize technology, they don't care. They don't have a conscience. They are there to reap and rape, and they must be stopped by clear and unequivocal voices. Remember that what they do with our politicians is that they buy them for a song. The politicians are bought for a song. They buy them apartments in Dubai and in Guyana and keep money for them in Panama and other places and buy them holiday homes in Miami. So if you rely on your politicians only as the bulwark against the diabolical machination of these multinationals, then you are sunk and sunk until the second coming.
Wow. Wow, Uncle and Auntie. If a contract is parasitic, it must be nullified. You hear that, Uncle? If a contract is a parasite to its people, it must be abolished, must be reversed, must be quashed, must be changed. It must be buried beneath the ocean floor where Exxon have their FPSO. What he just said there, Uncle, is any contract that is sucking the lifeblood out of a country. The people have a responsibility to mobilize and pound it into dust with the biggest sledgehammer they can find. This brother is widely respected throughout Africa for exposing corruption, fighting for justice and fair play. Fair play right across Africa. He has seen it all. What the foreign enslavers did and still doing to the entire African and Asian continent. Hence, I ask him to speak to Guyana. When I told him that the sanctity of contract has become a weapon, a tool, a mantra our leaders are using to reject any discussions for renegotiation of that one-sided contract. He told us, you listened to him just now, no one must rely on legal technicalities to legalize unjust agreements. You heard him. We must not use black letter law to legalize the illegal. What he's saying there, Uncle, is that no clause or provision in the contract that permits the wholesale thievery of people's wealth can be legal. It should not be allowed to breed. It's a terrible wrong. a terrible crime, and it must be changed. He even gave us examples of some African countries who have suffered with the oil contracts they entered into with the big oil companies. And he named them. So the mere claim of a contract being legal does not automatically make it just and fair. That's what he said, Uncle. A contract that does not give us a fair share is not a just contract. And it cannot be left alone. It must be changed. But the people have to demand that. Yes, Uncle. He said the people have to demand that. If the parasites you have for leaders don't want to do it, we have to. Gregory, a friend said to me once, Glenn, those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. It has been quite clear, Auntie, yesterday and today, including tomorrow, that President Ali, Vice President Jagdeo, Opposition Leader Norton and Ramjatan is not going to change their minds. So nothing will change on that Exxon contract. We have to make them do it. Yes. We have to make them do it. And we can only do it with our boots on the ground and your fingers at the ballot box. Come on. Come on, Uncle and Auntie. Almost 90% of our oil sits in the Stabroek block with that contract that gives us nothing. And y'all still going and vote for these people? Huh? Who not only robbing you, but your children too. Man, Gregory, if your brother or your sister rob you $1,000 or $100,000, you're ready to fight. You don't want to speak to them for lifetime. Here, presently, you're being robbed of millions of US dollars that can be in your pockets to give you a better life than the American people. And all of you sitting down, waiting for them. Waiting for them. Instead of you fight for that, you all sitting down waiting for them to come share out a $25,000 and a 19,000 Guyana dollar. Huh? I don't know, man. I don't know. My friend Luboma was just say, I don't know. How can this be? People standing up for their rights all over the world. People demanding more taxes, more royalties from their oil companies and getting it. And you leaders running to front defending an illegal contract rather than demanding something better from that. Huh? Everywhere you show up in small groups, our brothers and sisters running up to you, asking you, is why you're all sharing. You know, during the walk with Ray Daggers from Berbice to Essequibo, people running out, asking, is why y'all got to share. You don't want to know what I tell some of them while walking on that street. That is what Guyana was Yes, that is how they created Guyana. That is how it was, is, and would forever be with that oil contract. Beggars. Come on, guys. Come on, uncle and auntie. Don't do this to yourselves. Don't let your children do that to you. That African legend told us, if the leader's not doing anything to change this parasitic contract, yes, uncle, this parasite for contract we have with Exxon, then we, the citizens, must move to the courts or seek international help from international tribunals so that we can get justice, so that we can get that contract changed. Thank you for that piece of information, Brother Lubumba. Where is the legal bodies in Guyana? The lawyers in this country? What happened to their ears and their eyes? Are they blind and deaf? I have this message for them so that they can understand. If we get our fair share, brothers and sisters, in the lawyer forms, every citizen, every business, every professional, including all of you, pockets will overflow with cash. Should I repeat that? Man, if we get we fair share, all the lawyers' pocket will overflow with cash. So please come on board. Heed the call of that great soul of Africa, and let's take them on. We will win. When people stand up, evil politicians fall and things change. Auntie, I just love how that soul, that great soul, Mr. Lumumba puts it as a lawyer to Exxon and our leaders. I was sitting there and my heart was palpitating? Yes. Not with anger, but with joy when he said, renegotiation of an unfavorable agreement that legalizes thieving is more than enough for the citizens to make their voices heard and go to court. Yes, go to court both locally and internationally to remedy this dilemma we are in. The man even argued that the contract Exxon and Guyana would never be accepted in the United States where ExxonMobil live. I want to add another piece to that. This Guyana oil contract will never be accepted in any white man country. Not even for a second. But like I have said many, many times, when you select or elect corrupt, incompetent, and greedy thieves, this is what you have to live with. This is what you're living with. Mr. Lumumba said there are many stories across Africa where oil companies reap and rape the African countries. Wow. When he was talking about reap and rape, I remember myself and had to smile. Because when I talk about rape, how they're raping and sodomizing us out there and in our background with our gold and diamond, some of you Yes, is saying that Lall is taking this thing too far. You heard it from the king's mouth himself. Yes. He said, they don't care. They don't have a conscience. They go to these countries only to reap and rape them of their wealth. And they must be stopped by clear and unequivocal voices. He even named some of the countries. You heard him. Nigeria, Gabon, Congo, Angola, and so on. That is the exact thing they started doing right here in Guyana. But the only thing, the difference between Congo, Angola, and so on, is that what they did there and what they're doing here is 50 times worse. You have another piece of tape there. Play it, let them hear him back. Here is worse, Uncle. Yeah.
Of some of the individuals in our countries. Look at a number of countries, what the West have done through, and I'm talking about the mining sector. Look at countries such as the Democratic Republic of Congo, which on paper is the richest country on earth. And look at the levels of poverty. And look at how their leaders, so-called leaders, sign away their birthright. Look at the kind of damage that oil companies have visited in countries such as Nigeria, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and even in Venezuela, even in your own country in Guyana now, you can see what companies such as ExxonMobil are trying to do and how they are trying to take away your natural wealth and patrimony for a pittance. And our leaders are there signing on the dotted lines so that it is a sad thing.
Boy, oh my, oh my. On paper, they're the richest country on earth. Look at the level of poverty in those countries. The leaders have signed on to the dotted lines of the contracts giving away the citizens' birthright to their wealth. Joshua, isn't the same thing happening here or done here with Raphael Trotman when he signed the contract? And now Bharat Jagdeo continuing the signing off. Yeah, man. Look, Uncle and Auntie, look. He signed on the dotted line for Lisa 3 and 4. And dotted line again for Lisa 5. And now he's going to ink the dotted line for Lisa 6 by year end, getting a pittance with no shame attached. Lall have been saying this thing 2.5 years on this radio station. It's written in the newspapers every day. Yes. I told you guys since he signed Lisa 3 was the grandmother of all evil. When he signed Lisa 4, I said was the grandfather of all evil. He went and signed Lisa 5. And all of you sit down quiet. He signed on the dotted lines, as you hear the gentleman said there just now. Getting pittance with no shame. And the opposition, man, not a word you hear from them. Yes. Not a single word you hear from Aubrey Norton or Ramjat and them. Nothing. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. Look at the destruction that is happening to our roadways and infrastructure by this oil operation. It's sickening. Those of you who are driving every day on the streets, you're seeing it. You're witnessing it. The East Bank Road, look at it. We have to go borrow 100 million the other day, 200 million the other day to fix, to patch it back. Look at it today. Wow. Mr. Lumumba Further suggested that politicians who often engage with these oil companies, and he puts it nicely, may be influenced by bribery and corruption, pointing out that they are bought for a song and lured with luxury properties abroad. This is why we, yes, the general public, along with civic organizations, have to make our voices heard to get what is rightfully ours. Oh, uncle and auntie, these politicians you have here today, they are not going to do it for you or for me. Man, could you play back the same tape? That same tape, play it back for them. Yeah, that's the one we just played.
When you see the activities of some of the individuals in our countries, look at a number of countries, what the West have done through, and I'm talking about the mining sector. Look at countries such as the Democratic Republic of Congo, which on paper is the richest country on earth. And look at the levels of poverty. And look at how their leaders, so-called leaders, sign away their birthright. Look at the kind of damage that oil companies have visited in countries such as Nigeria, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and even in Venezuela, even in your own country in Guyana now. You can see what companies such as ExxonMobil are trying to do, and how they are trying to take away your natural wealth and patrimony for a pittance. And our leaders are there signing on the dotted lines, so that it is a sad thing.
Even in Guyana, in the mining sector, you guys see how much fight I had to put up. And I didn't even get a time to deal with that mining contracts yet. The destruction they're causing. Man, I was looking at a tape today where a bridge, the water blew away the bridge. Imagine water blowing away a bridge. Yes, in our back dam. The destruction happening in our back dam with our roads. Man, it's unthinkable. Maybe I'll have to take a helicopter to go in there to bring out some of these horrible destruction going on there. And what are you getting out of it? Absolutely nothing. According to Ashley Singer, you're going to get security guard and cleaning work and cook in the back dam. Ask them what you getting from all the tons of gold that being mined today. Nothing. Nothing. Man, and I go in and vote for them. I love you, man. I go in and vote for them too. Wow, June 12th coming. You know, I don't think, Mr. Lumumba just talk about ExxonMobil. But if I am to tell him what's happening in our mining sector, our timber industry, man, he would have reeled off. But I'll try to get him back. Don't worry. You have another tape. Play that little tape. Let them hear him.
What they do with our politicians is that they buy them for a song. The politicians are bought for a song. They buy them apartments in Dubai and in Guyana and keep money for them in Panama and other places and buy them holiday homes in Miami. So if you rely on your politicians only as the bulwark against the diabolical machination of these multinationals, then you are sunk and sunk until the second coming.
You hear that? You're sunk and sunk till the second coming. No one on earth, Auckland Auntie, no one on earth can tell me, Glenn Lall, that our politicians do not fit what that legend said there. Most of them are compromised. You know what a word means, uncle? Compromise? They will sell out their mother and father for their own benefits. Yes. These Kavakamites, these parasites, look how they are silent when the word renegotiation is mentioned in their ears or their faces. I love how he ended. If you don't get up and get, and don't rely on the politicians, be prepared to wait for the second coming of life, if there's a second chance at life. Beautifully put, eh? He talk about buying properties in Miami and all over. Man, them chapters are kings all over the world. They better don't pray. They should start praying that you'd never have a change of government in this land and have a leader like Glenn Lall. Trust me. Trust me. Man, uncle, this whole country heard President Ali when he said, if he's elected, everything with ExxonMobil is on the table for review and renegotiate. You guys heard him, man. Today he's elected and hiding from the press and all of us. He running around, sneaking here, sneaking there. Going to say, I come help you build a step or a house. Yes. He's not facing people who can shove questions in his face. Last week I see he talking to Brazil about coffee. Coffee. Instead of talking to the people about wheat oil, he talking to the people about coffee, how to grow coffee. We are the richest country on earth with oil, poor person. And this man going to talk to Brazil about coffee. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Miss Motley, thank you for this tea. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love you, Miss Motley. Oh my gosh, coffee, brother. Joshua, coffee, brother. Not oil. Brazil getting 56% as their share from their oil. And Guyana getting 14.5%. A quarter of what Brazil getting. And Brazil is the lowest in the whole region. And we get a quarter of what Brazil getting. Suriname getting 62.25%. Man, what's going on in these people's head? Eh? Can somebody tell me, man? Vice President Jagdeo cussed down and abused out the PNC on this contract, describing it as one of the worst and a shitty deal. How are we going to change it? Today, he's bluntly refusing to even ask, not demand. He is refusing to even ask for a change or renegotiation of that same contract he cost down. Are you help me, please? I need help to understand how can this be in this country. I want all of you, especially the leaders in both camps and President Ali, to listen to Bara Jagdeo. And you guys tell me if Bara Jagdeo should still be sitting at that desk as a defender and protector of Guyana. Before I play it, let me tell you this. Before Justice Kissoon's ruling, I asked him at his March 3rd press conference about this unlimited parent company guarantee. Y'all just please listen to him. What is the answer he gave? Please play. The insurance I ask has nothing to do with insurance.
I told you the EPA, they have to get the parent company guarantee. I have expressed concerns myself. If you think you're just concerned, we are building capacity in these sectors. Some of the concerns are also our concern. The parent guarantee should have been done already.
That's what we want to hear.
The parent should have been done already.
Okay.
It has to be done soon. We told the EPA, give this Exxon a deadline. Give them a deadline for doing this. It should have been done. That one, you're right on. It should have been done.
Capping the interest rate has nothing to do with
All right.
negotiation of the
Please
contract.
give the gentleman. I answer the other questions. All right.
Please give the gentleman, I already answered that question, capping the interest rate. Let's leave that out for now. 50 million US. 50 million US, if you don't know, uncle, what is interest rate? If we are paying 10% on that 50 billion US, it's 5 billion US a year. Guyana Bailey get 1 billion in profit and royalty. He said he don't answer the question already. You hear him? Yes. What he said just now, uncle? He told the EPA. Yes. He told the EPA to give Exxon a deadline to get the parent company guarantee. Uncle, Justice Kissoon has since ordered Exxon to provide Guyana with that same guarantee that Jagdeo and his EPA didn't even get onto this date for Guyana to safeguard Guyana in this region. Man, uncle, when Justice Kissoon give that decision, within hours, Jagdeo instructed the EPA to appeal it. A few days later, he went further to get the state also to file an appeal to that full protection the judge ordered for Guyana. Now you tell me, man, you tell me, auntie, if Jagdeo was honest, if Jagdeo was truthful, when he said umpteen times he's working towards protecting this country with that parent company guarantee. Tell me if this man is not a sellout, saying one thing yesterday to the nation and meaning something else deep down within his heart, and a nasty one too. You tell me, man. Should this man ever be trusted with our future and that of this region's future? Huh? Could you play back that tape, let them hear him, man? The insurance I ask has nothing to do with insurance.
I told you the EPA, they have to get the parent company guarantee. I have expressed concerns myself. If you think you're just concerned, we are building capacity in these sectors. Some of the concerns are also our concern. The parent guarantee should have been done already.
That's
It
what
has-
we want to hear.
It's the parent should have been done already.
Okay.
It has to be done soon. We told the EPA, give this Exxon a deadline. Give them a
Okay.
deadline for doing this. It should have been done. That one, you're right on. It should have been done.
Capping the interest rate has nothing to do
Okay.
with
All
the
right.
negotiation of the
Please give
contract.
the gentleman. I answer the other questions. All right.
When he said they have to get the parent company guarantee. You heard my voice there, right? I said that's all I want to hear. I was such a happy human being at that moment. You know, I was happy not only for myself, but for this entire country when I hear Barra Jagdeo say that he have instructed the EPA to give Exxon a time limit to hand us that parent company guarantee.
Make you think that he wanted something.
Oh, yes, because he said, Glenn Lall,
Yes.
you think you're concerned?
Yes.
We are more concerned than you.
Yes.
The parent company guarantee should have been done, should have been a done deal, signed and sealed. Where it is. Where it is. He nor the EPA didn't get it. 2 citizens went to court for it, and Justice Kissoon ordered that Exxon hand it to us. That same man you heard there just now, Uncle, was say he more concerned about the parent company for Guyana. Turn around and instructed the EPA and the state to appeal Justice Kissoon's decision protecting us. Was he being honest and truthful there? Man, I have to repeat. Was Barra Jagdeo being honest and truthful there with what you heard just now, Uncle and Auntie? Or is he acting a role, playing a two-head snake? I don't know. You tell me. A man who just said, we must have it, is now fighting the judge's decision who ordered it for us. Jagdeo could ever. Gregory, oh my gosh. When you think about this man, this man could never walk straight on a straight line or talk straight with anything comes out his mouth. Last week at his press conference, at his PPP press conference, because he stopped whole national press conference. I don't know who he's afraid of. Last week at his press conference, Gregory, my reporter asked him, who will compensate this country from an oil spill if the 600 million insurance is not enough? He said the government will take Exxon to court to get compensation of an oil spill. Could you believe this thing, man? This man had good. Should this man still be sitting a day more in that chair?
No way.
Uncle and Auntie, tell me. Say something. Should this man be anywhere close to a government, even as a cleaner? You guys see the trouble we in this country with Barra Jagdeo? All the money you get in from the oil would not be even close to pay the lawyer fees to fight an oil spill compensation, man. And this man, I tell we, a judge order Exxon to protect we. Now this man fighting that, and when asked who will compensate, well, we can carry him to court. This man had good. Just the other day, a U.S. judge ordered ExxonMobil to pay $5 billion US for an oil spill. Yes, in Alaska. It's a state in the US. ExxonMobil appeal. Them delay and drag out that case for years. Man, the state gets so sick and tired that they throw up their hands to Exxon and say, give me what you want. Exxon hand them 10% out of that 5 billion US. That is the road Barra Jagdeo taking Guyana down with those gangsters. Exxon ready to fight with their own country for as long as it takes, with their army of over 700 lawyers at their fingertips, uncle. We whole country doesn't even have half of those 700 lawyers. We don't even have lawyers who have the skill, the quality and ability to fight regular cases. But Jagdeo will take Exxon to court for compensation of an IELTS bill. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'll take any telephone call tonight. No. I don't think Jagdeo does listen back to himself to hear what a fool and a sellout he has become. Nothing he says on this oil sector makes sense. That is how tied up he is with ExxonMobil. They're covering under the same blanket. Don't ask me what it is do together. I don't know. What I do know, all of us can die. Future generations can be bankrupt. And it doesn't mean a thing to Barra Jagdeo or President Ali, Norton, and Ramjatan. I told you people many times, I have never trusted a word, much less a sentence out of Jagdeo's mouth. And a few people were upset with me for saying that. I am so happy that his words and actions are revealing the true nature of who this man, Bharat Jagdeo, really is. Today was the hearing at the appeal court over Justice Kissoon's ruling. The lawyer Sanjeev Dattadin, yes, representing EPA, is overseas and got delayed with his flight. So the case postponed for Wednesday. But we were told that Anil Nandalal, the Attorney General, today applied to be part of the case with Exxon, a case with Exxon against Guyana. Yes. Today he filed. Remember, Jagdeo said the state will appeal it. Well, today Anil went to court and put in the document and said, hey, well, we join in EPA and Exxon against Guyana. You didn't hear what I said there, Uncle. Our Attorney General Anil Nandalal jumped on Exxon's side to fight against the Guyanese people and Justice Kissoon's ruling. Clearly. Is whose instruction Anil working with? You know? Or the political superman who's making all the decisions? We in a nice shape here, Uncle. Yes. We're in a very nice shape, Auntie. We're there in a storm, way out in the Atlantic Ocean. Past them FPSO. And your government took away the paddle, took away the life vests, and now ripping out the bottom of the boat. Yes. Board by board, they're ripping out. I don't know if you will ever float to shore to be buried on land, or the fishes will eat all of you. Oh, Father. Oh, all this is going on. And what you're hearing from the PNC or the AFC camp, their silence make me believe they're drifting with the tide. Wherever the wind blows them. You know, June 12th coming. I will still be on this program, God's willing. Y'all go and line up to vote for all of them. Whether PPP or PNC or KFC. You have no choice. Pick your poison.
Slowly.
Yes. Pick your poison. And so that you can die slowly. And please don't call into this program. Don't ask me to be any president. Yeah, I'll stop this thing. Stop it. The days for building jails done. Glenn Lall's job is to educate and inform. Yes, inform all of you. Your job is to bring about reform and get rid of those who are deformed. That is what your job is. Mine is to inform. You is to reform. Yes, to get out or get rid of those deformed people. They are, not true, Gregory?
Yes.
Aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. None of them talking straight.
Of course.
Exxon got them so basity that they can't even walk straight. Look at them. I hear the whole in Bottom House meeting all across the country and demanding that all them 10-day workers vote for them. If not, they're going to take away the people's little job. I am told that during Burnham time, you had to have a party card to get a job. Now, the PPP got a 10-day party whip. Vote for we or you get lashes. Uncle and auntie, if I only know the kind of money, the kind of billions this country discovered, man, I take that 10-day job money and that monthly salary what you're getting and shy it in their face and tell them keep it. But you people not listening. You're not learning. You're not coming out. You're not standing up. You're not speaking out. Every home should have been walking away with money like rice with Lisa 1 and 2 pumping. When I begin pumping in Lisa 3 and 4, money could have been coming in like sun, not rice. But like I said, nobody's saying a word about changing that contract. Ray Daggers, 65-year-old man, walked from Borbis to Essequibo just to bring awareness for you people to wake up. Earlier today, that same 65-year-old began a daily fasting to bring about more attention and more resistance to this horror contract. Where are your voices? Where are your feet? I joined him and walked that walk with him from Borbis to the end of Essequibo. I mean charity. If I could have fast, if I could have only fast, I would have joined him today. Let me see what all of you are made of. Let me see who will join him tomorrow out there in front office of the president. And let's move back to Mr. Lubumba. Mr. Lubumba, a U.S. heavyweight, just like Mr. Lubumba, uncle and auntie, a U.S. heavyweight dealing with finances in the hundreds of U.S. billions, a man named Tom Zanzilo, who oversaw the yearly management of over 44,000 government contracts. You hear that? You hear that? This man oversees over 44,000 government contracts. This is a man, uncle, who understands every contract from top to bottom. And he has been warning Guyana since 2016 to protect yourself or regret it. He has been watching this nation's back ever since we find oil, and has been analyzing the situation and compiling reports warning Guyana on the dangers it faces in the absence of ring fencing. He has been warning us about the absence of decommissioning terms, and more recently, the unlimited parent company guarantee by Justice Kissoon. The man has asked to see the formula. You hear this, Gregory? This man has asked Guyana to ensure that we see the formula, the method, uncle, being used by ExxonMobil to calculate we profit. That has fallen on Jagdev's deaf ears. And to now, you know, since 2019, we start pumping oil, Gregory. Guyana doesn't know how we money being calculated. I don't know if Jagdev know himself or even care to know how we money being calculated. That financial expert has asked that question so that he could have done a proper analysis of what Guyana finds itself in today. Jagdev has never responded to that question or to give an answer to that. Now tell me, Auntie, which responsible government, what kind of responsible leader would want to hide the method the method that is being used to calculate we money. The money that go in we pocket. Why that got to be a secret? Why the expenses got to be a secret? Why everything got to be a secret? Somebody tell me something, man.
Something stinks.
Wait, you can't tell me at the end of the day how you calculate to give me share, man. Is what you're hiding there. Is why you don't want the citizens of this country to know, Mr. Jagdeo. Is what and what y'all taking out behind we back. Is what y'all doing that you guys shouldn't be doing. Man, Gregory, even a vendor will say to his partner, let me know what you take out.
Correct.
And what you take it out for.
Correct.
So you're going to know if you get juke and how much you get juke. That is the question the U.S. financial king warning Guyana about. And Jagdeo has never replied or said a word at any press conference about what method being used, the Exxon are using to calculate we profit. Yesterday we reported in the Kaieteur News how the same U.S. financial expert said the 12 countries in this region that will be affected from an oil spill are at risk of losing over 140 billion US dollar in economic activities yearly. You didn't hear what I said, man. This analyst predicted if an oil spill, God forbid there's an oil spill, the 12 countries that is listed by ExxonMobil that will be affected, the economic activity yearly for those 12 countries will run to 140 billion American dollars. Guyana will never see 140 billion in profit from that oil out there in its lifetime, much less to compensate those countries. Oh, no, I forgot. I said it earlier, right? That Jagdeo said you carry them to good. Gosh. You don't call me. I don't want no telephone call tonight. Please, I don't want no telephone call. We can't even find $3 billion. Three for pay off with debt. We can't find 3 billion for run we own country on a yearly basis. We're going to find 140 billion every year to pay those 12 countries from an oil spill. Man, this is the kind of warning this New York financial king is telling Guyana. He went further to say, Gregory, that any government that is prepared to bend the rules in favor of oil companies is weak and unstable. He is trying to use nice words to describe these parasites. Weak. Uncle and auntie, for me, they are so corrupt that they are not only endangering Guyana and its citizens, but the all the 12 countries and their people, who mostly depend on tourism for their livelihood. That gentleman, that U.S. expert, said he finds it troubling, disturbing, that Exxon is pushing for Guyana to only accept a $2 billion parent company guarantee for oil spills, when they are worth over 430 billion US.
Yes.
He also finds it strange that Exxon is refusing to comply with a court order issued by Justice Kissoon, which calls for an unlimited parent company for the Liza 1. You know, it's only Liza 1 we fight, that people fight for, you know. Liza 2 has nothing. Liza 3, 4, and 5. This by Jagdeo. This by Jagdeo. Oh my. He went on to say, Zanzilo went on to say, the eyes of the world is now looking at Guyana government to see what action they will take to enforce protection for its people against the oil companies. How do you like that? Isn't that a shame?
Of course, more than a shame.
Well, when the world see that he fighting against a judge decision, what example he has set for this world, man? So this man is now only setting an example in Guyana for the Guyanese people, you know. The world watching to see what action we government, uncle, will take in securing its people. Whether they're going to grab a few pennies and allow health and safety of the people to be thrown in the Atlantic Ocean. The few penny that is $2 billion and throw in the Atlantic Ocean. That is what the man actually means. He said he finds it shocking that the government is taking the oil company's side rather than enforcing the quota order securing Guyana.
That thing looked terrible, man. That thing shameless.
This gentleman ended his report on Guyana. It's in the Kaieteur News yesterday, please read it. By saying the economic risks to Guyana are clear. Let me repeat the piece. The economic risk to Guyana are clear. ExxonMobil got the money to clean up and pay compensation. Guyana does not. And he believes without that parent company guarantee, Guyana is doomed. Without that parent company guarantee, he believes Guyana is doomed. I am done for tonight. When you think of this wealth God has blessed us with, and the leaders selling we out in this fashion for nothing, with tons of destruction during the process, with our roads and infrastructures, and we are left without full protection of an oil spill. Man, I don't know what else to say but to tell you, a man once said, our attachment to the past is greater than our commitment to the future. Y'all continue living and being attached to the past. The PPP, the PNC, and ExxonMobil will take care of your future. God bless all of you.